1974 doesn't feel like discovery. It feels like competition. By now, artists know what works. They know what sells. And the question isn't, can you make a great song anymore? It's, can you keep doing it without losing control of who you are? And before we get into this, if you like hearing what actually happened behind these songs, not just what charted, stick with me. Because 1974 has some stories most people completely miss. Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard a song so clean, so tight, that it almost feels effortless? Like it just exists that way? Steely Dan. Rikki, don't lose that number. Now here's the truth. Nothing about this band was effortless. Donald Fagen and Walter Becker were known for doing something most bands avoided. They didn't stick with one group of musicians. They cycled through session players, over and over, until they got exactly what they wanted. So when you hear that bass line, that smooth, almost laid-back groove, that's not a band locking in. That's a decision, a controlled outcome. Now here's the part most people don't realize. That opening piano figure, it's inspired by jazz, Horace Silver specifically. So you've got jazz influence, session precision, and pop accessibility, all in one track. Let me ask you, does that change how you hear it? Because suddenly it's not just smooth. It's engineered to be that way. Now flip that completely. What happens when something raw stays raw and still wins? Lynyrd Skynyrd. Sweet Home Alabama. This isn't polished. This isn't layered. This is direct. Now here's the tension behind it. This song is a response. Neil Young had released Southern Man and Alabama, criticizing the South. And this is the answer. Not subtle, not vague, direct. But here's where it gets interesting. Neil Young himself later said he understood the response, even respected it. So now you've got something rare, a musical argument, that both sides acknowledged. Now listen to the bass line. Simple, anchored, driving the entire track without getting in the way. That's intentional. Because the focus isn't complexity, it's message. Now let's go somewhere completely different. Something massive. Something that shouldn't have worked the way it did. Queen. Killer Queen, let me ask you, when you hear this song, do you think rock or something else? Because that's the point. Freddie Mercury wasn't trying to stay in a lane. He was blending styles. Vaudeville, rock, pop, and doing it in a way that still felt cohesive. Now here's the detail most people miss. Those layered vocals, that wasn't digital stacking, that was multiple takes, carefully arranged. And Brian May's guitar, recorded in sections, built like a puzzle. So what sounds playful is actually extremely controlled. Now here's a different question. What happens when a song almost doesn't get released? David Bowie. Rebel Rebel? This riff? Iconic. But the label hesitated, didn't know how to position it. Too glam for rock, too rock for pop. But Bowie didn't wait for clarity. He moved forward anyway. Now here's the detail. That riff carries everything. The bass line underneath it, steady, repetitive, holding the structure in place. Because the guitar is doing the talking. Now ask yourself, how many songs survived because someone didn't wait for permission? Now something softer, but just as calculated. Olivia Newton-John, I Honestly Love You. This is where production shifts again. Everything is stripped back. Voice first, instrumentation second. Now here's the part people don't always realize. This kind of restraint was intentional. Because by 1974, not every song needed to compete for volume. Some competed for intimacy. And this one wins that way. Now let's go heavier again. What happens when repetition becomes power? The Doobie Brothers, Black Water. Now here's the story most people don't know. This wasn't even supposed to be the lead track. It starts as a B-side, something smaller, but radio picks it up, and it spreads. Now listen to the structure. Repetitive, layered vocals, and that bass line? Simple, grounded, holding everything steady. Because the complexity isn't in the structure, it's in how everything stacks. Now here's one that flips everything again. Elton John, Bennie and the Jets. Let me ask you, Have you ever noticed the crowd noise? Sounds live, right? It's not. That's added in the studio. Because Elton John wanted it to feel like a performance, even though it wasn't. Now think about that. By 1974, artists aren't just recording songs. They're creating experiences, even when they're not on stage. Now step back for a second. What are you actually hearing in 1974? You're hearing artists ask, do I follow what works, or do I shape what comes next? Because now, the stakes are higher. Success isn't new anymore. Staying successful is. And that changes everything. Songs get tighter. Production gets smarter. Decisions get more calculated. But here's the trade-off. Sometimes that control makes things better. Sometimes it makes things safer. So let me ask you, which do you prefer? The raw edge of earlier years or the precision of what music is becoming? Because 1974 sits right in the middle of that shift. And once that shift happens, there's no going back. If one of these songs hits differently now that you know what went into it, drop it in the comments. And if you're just here to sit back, take it all in, and let it ride in the background, relax and spark one up. Keep that turntable spinning.